What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Anybody out there? What's going on with you? Hey, Dommy. Yeah, I saw your message last night when you didn't get the notification. I'm so sorry. I knew. Hey, David. I knew it had to be something like that because my regulars weren't in the room yesterday. Not that I had a problem with the people who were there. We had a good conversation, but I was like, ain't none of my regulars up in here. Where everybody at? I said, that on YouTube is probably tripping. YouTube is tripping. How y'all doing today? Hey, beautiful, beautiful Koi. Hi, how are you? What's going on with everybody? I figured I'd come on here for about an hour. Let's chat about what's going on in the world today. What's up, Shay? How you doing, Shay Shay? It's just Shay. You caught that fire babe today, baby. Caught that Babe Nation news. You caught it, you caught it. Hey JJ, how you doing? I'm doing good today. How you guys doing? It is Thursday. I've been in the training. I was in the training Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that training kicked my butt. I have to get back to go. See, I'm a night person and I go to bed late. And during the summer, when I don't have a set schedule, sometimes I'm going to bed 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And then I ain't doing nothing. I'm just sitting here watching TV or playing solitaire on the computer, not doing nothing. Um, so I had to get myself ready to go back to work. I had to start going to bed at a decent hour. And especially on Wednesdays, no, Tuesdays and Wednesday nights because I got Pose, which that's only one more week. And then I have Queen Sugar, which comes on at 10. Last night it came on at 9, but it usually comes on at 10. So by the time I watch it and then do the review, because I want to get that review up, especially my Pose review, I want to get it up quick. It'd be midnight. I was listening to that word, couldn't concentrate. I was cracking up. Yeah, it was pretty good today. She talked at the end. She talked about James Caldwell and the Heidi Snowfly at the end. Hey, how you doing, Rebecca? Oh, this is just, you know what this is? This is a Race for the Cure t-shirt. Thank you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying it's breast cancer walk shirt. You know, when you walk in the every year they give you a t-shirt when you walk in the breast cancer. And I haven't done it in like the last 3 years, but I did it probably every year for about 10 years. So I got a bunch of these t-shirts. I don't know what year this one is. What year is this? But it's the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. What year is this one, y'all? Washington, D.C. This is the big one they do here in D.C. You know they do it. This 2009, y'all. Lord, Lord, Lord. 2009. But I just picked it up. This is my house clothes. I know I grew up, I went to Catholic school my whole life, right? So the first thing we did when we came home from school, we had to take your uniform off and hang it up for the next day or whatever. Or put it in dirty clothes, whichever, wherever it belonged. And so I'm in the habit now where I have my house clothes and I got my street clothes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the first thing I do when I come home is change my clothes and put on usually just an old t-shirt, something comfortable, and either some shorts or I got a million pair of pajama pants that I usually wear my pajama pants in the winter, I wear my shorts in the summer, and I recently started wearing my little caftans, y'all. I like my caftans. Yeah. Um, did I say hi, Rebecca? Mimi, hey Mimi, hey Monk Chip, how you doing, boo? Y'all know Monk Chip is a sweetheart. Met her at the meet and greet. I can't give you enough love, Monk Chip. I can't give you enough love, boo. Um, yeah, what Five Babe talk about today? She talked about of course, she talked about Tracy, Jay Wilson, um, like I said, she talked about the James Colwell. You working, boo? You always working, Monk Chip. You always working. You be safe, babe. You be safe. Um, but talked about like I said, James Colwell and Heidi Snowfly, and she said she's cool with both people, and so I think she did a good job of being fair about how she reported the situation and what went down. She was pretty accurate about how she reported it, and was pretty fair. You know, when you cool with both people, but you still got to do your job. You know, she has taken over this YouTube news thing, baby. I think she did a good job of how she reported it. She was pretty fair with it. She was pretty fair with it. What else did she talk about? Of course, she talked about the Armand Wiggins thing. And she brought up a good point. Now, I did talk about Armand Wiggins, but I talked about it from the point of view of so many people were talking about its censorship and he has a right to say what he wants to say. That was what my live was about yesterday. It was just a government lesson on the First Amendment, what people think freedom of speech. I don't have no opinion about Armand Wiggins one way or the other, because first of all, I don't really watch his show. I don't know him like that. You know what I mean? I've only watched a couple of news clips of different things that people like, oh, did you hear what he said this or he said that? Usually, like when he was him and T.S. Madison were kind of going back and forth. But I did put it on there as a hashtag today because I do want to talk a little bit about what I think went down, to be honest with you, what my 2 cents is about it now that it is back up. What else did she talk about? Oh, of course she talked about V. Did she talk about VS? I don't know, y'all. I think she talked about VS at the beginning, but don't quote me on that because I don't remember. But it was pretty good. You know, tomorrow's Fact Check Friday, so I don't know who she getting together tomorrow, but I know she got some flashcards for Tracy. She said she got some new flashcards for Tracy, y'all. Yeah, Fi Babe, I mean, she killing it. Can't nobody say what she not. She killing it. She is killing it. And she is entertaining. She's entertaining to me. I know I'm entertained by her. She's entertaining. What in the world? Oh, what in the world? Oh, I'm tripping, y'all. I'm looking at my bracelet and it was looking funny, but I see what I did now. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. But I was in this training. Am I a SpongeBob wannabe? I want SpongeBob money. I'll take that. How about that? Yeah, so that's kind of what so anyway, I've been struggling through this training. Hey, what's up, Ebony Boo? I've been struggling through this training, y'all. This training, it was good information, but I ain't lying. I was struggling. Woo, I was struggling. I think one day I did just fall asleep, y'all. But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. A couple of quick things. I told her to get a whiteboard. She's taking Tracy to school, and she learning too because one of those videos she changed from lion to lion. Girl, hey Harriet, how you doing today, boo? Monk Chip, girl, thank you, boo. But I tell you what, Ghost, what's his Ghost official, whatever his name is, he don't have it by one more time, and I'm going to put him out of here. You know, I don't deal with it. I don't entertain it, and I don't deal with it. You know, so if he don't have nothing better to do. He bored. He came in to hang out with us. It's whatever. Hit the like button on your way out. That's it. So yeah. So see, he done made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, let's get back to this. Oh, a couple of quick announcements. What? Anyway, let's go on and just get him out of here, so we don't even have to worry about it. All right, he's gone. Okay, he's gone. What's up, little baby? What's up? Okay, so my first hashtag is the NFL. So before we get started, so I can get my little 2 cents on what's going on with this NFL piece. Oh, little baby, I did that. I did that to you by accident. I'm trying to get this little butthole right here. Hold on, little baby. Just retype your comment. I did not mean to. Oh shoot, y'all! I done put little baby out the damn chat. Damn it. Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me get little baby back. Oh, little baby, I'm so sorry. Okay. Bobby! What's up, boo? Y'all, Bobby, that's my boo. Y'all, hold on. I gotta figure out how to get little baby back in here. What I do to little baby? Oh Lord, I done kicked little baby out. Here we go. Little baby, you back. All right, you were unhidden. Girl, I hit you by accident because it was a little butthole in here I was trying to get rid of. My babe. My sorry, babe. Bobby, you were on my mind earlier this week, too. I think it said I unhid her, so she should be back. Little baby, you back? Let me know. Little baby. Okay. Whoo, girl, I'm sorry. I hit your name instead of that other dude's name. You know I would never put you out, babe. I apologize. I apologize. I was thinking about you earlier this week, Bobby. I swear I was. I swear I was. You must have been doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing. But okay, so NFL. Yeah, just a little troll. I'm driving back to West Virginia from Ohio, turned in for the what? What the hell were you doing in Ohio? You tell me later. I don't know what you up there doing. What you doing in Ohio? I'm sure it was. Well, I ain't gonna say it was no good. You probably were doing something nice for somebody. So, all right. So here's what the deal is, y'all. Let's go back because I wasn't doing these lives when all this stuff went down with Colin Kaepernick and the NFL or whatever. So with the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick and the NFL, like I absolutely supported Colin Kaepernick, but absolutely. But when people were talking about we're gonna boycott the NFL, we're gonna boycott the NFL. My question always to people was, and for what reason? What is it that we want from the NFL? Do we want the NFL to give Colin Kaepernick a job? Do we want the NFL to change their policies? Because the NFL always and never, yeah, because the NFL did not have a rule that said you could not kneel during the anthem. And when they tried to put some rules in place about people staying in the locker room versus people coming out on the field and all of that, they quickly backed away from it because they were like, okay, we don't even want that smoke. So the NFL did not have an official rule about kneeling on the field. As far as the Colin Kaepernick piece of it, let me give y'all my 2 cents when it comes to somebody who's worked for a union. I'm very pro union. I actually worked for the teachers union here in DC for a couple of years. So here's my issue about when you start telling an employer, "Hey, surprise, how you doing?" When you start telling an employer who they have to support, who they have to hire or not hire, it is a slippery slope. Now, I had 100% sympathy and empathy for Colin Kaepernick and what he was doing. Absolutely, I did. And I think that do I think that the NFL iced him out? I absolutely believe the NFL iced him out. I absolutely believe there was collusion. Absolutely 100%. But I think that we get into a slippery slope when we start telling employers what they have to do. I know we have laws in place about consideration, like, for example, when we start talking about affirmative action and things like that. But to tell the NFL you have to hire Colin Kaepernick to be on somebody's team, I think that's a slippery slope. So my whole thing when it came down to boycotting was, what we boycotting? Because when you boycott something, you have to have an end game. You have to say, this is what we want. We were going to boycott until you do X, Y, and Z. And once that company or organization does what you're demanding of them, then the agreement is that we're going to let bygones be bygones and we're going to start using your product again. So today, well, yesterday actually, Jay-Z announced that he was in, him and his Roc Nation group, management group or whatever, were in a partnership with the NFL. And part of what it was going to be, part of what the partnership entailed is that they were going to create a safe space for players to share how they felt, share their concerns, share their grief or beef or whatever about some of the policies or some things going on in the NFL. Also, Jay-Z was going, his company will be in charge of or have a large influence on um, the halftime show and different entertainment, whether it be the halftime show, whether it be the kickoff, the Hall of Fame game. You know, they're big events, the big events on the Pro Bowl, that type of stuff. So people are mad. People are saying that Jay-Z sold out Colin Kaepernick. They said that Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick had a conversation and Colin Kaepernick isn't happy with Jay-Z. But I guess where I sit, and I'm no Jay-Z fan. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm not a fan of his. I don't like or dislike Jay-Z. I'm not a big fan. I don't think he's horrible. But from where I sit on it is two things. One, Colin Kaepernick sued the NFL and he took a settlement. Once he took that settlement, isn't it over? He agreed to settle with the NFL over his lawsuit on collusion. So isn't it over? Two, Jay-Z now has an opportunity to be in the room and help the NFL create policies and create an environment that is going to help them be more sensitive to the needs of the players. We all knew that Colin Kaepernick kneeling didn't have nothing to do with the military, didn't have nothing to do with all that other stuff they were trying to say, that he was simply protesting the way black men are treated in this country by law enforcement. Period. That was it. So I guess my question to you guys is Jay-Z wrong? Do you see it as a positive opportunity, or do you feel like Jay-Z sold out Colin Kaepernick? Do you feel like that once Colin Kaepernick settled with the NFL, that it's a done deal, it's a wrap, it's over, and we should just move on with our lives? What y'all think? You have to side eye Jay-Z. He was talking about how he said no to the Super Bowl, that he didn't need them, they needed him. I'm just not understanding his moves. Okay. On TMZ, they literally asked if Jay-Z asked Colin before he did this. Jay-Z ain't selling out nothing. All right, so Shay, I hear your point. And you're right. Jay-Z did say that. But didn't he prove his point? When Jay-Z said, I don't need the NFL needs me, did he not prove his point because the NFL sought him out for this partnership? I feel like he proved his point. The NFL was like, you know what? We do need Jay-Z. Because did they not just trust his happy ass right on out in front of the media and did that nice little media y'all know it's a press conference from his headquarters, not the NFL's headquarters. That press conference was done at Rock Nation. I feel like he proved the point. I'm not mad at Jay-Z getting the bag. He should, but it's apparent that the NFL is using Negroes like to gain favor. I see it as a form of tokenism. You're correct. And Tiki Barber said, no, why would he? Well, Tiki Barber, we can't take nothing Tiki Barber ass say. Rondé, maybe. Tiki, But I see your point, little baby, that because here's the reality. Sometimes tokenism is needed. I know I don't want to say tokenism because I don't want to use that word. But sometimes using a black person is needed because who black people gonna listen to? They're not gonna listen to Roger Goodell. They ain't been listening to Roger Goodell. I feel his actions, he might be in a position to prevent another Colin Kaepernick situation. Bobby, that's valid. Bobby, I hope you're not texting and driving. Anyway, that's valid though. That to say, look, we're going to put somebody in place so that we can bounce these ideas off of them so that we ain't looking crazy and we don't have this because like they said, I was reading an article today and they were like last year during the Super Bowl, Roger Goodell answered more questions about Colin Kaepernick than he did about the game. Colin Kaepernick ain't played in 3 years, but he's still answering questions about Colin Kaepernick. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that of how the NFL handled that situation with Colin Kaepernick. The NFL could have finished that off really easily. Seize the opportunity and make it work in your favor. Hey, you right, Monk Chip. Tiki was given very house nigga. Well, Tiki is a house nigga. He always has been. That's the thing. I see a lot of companies putting black people in positions just to pacify upset Twitter Negroes. See, but here's the thing. I hear what you're saying, little baby, but I think that's what's needed. When Gucci made that damn one monkey onesie with the big lips or whatever it was that thing that Gucci did that pissed everybody off. The argument was there are not enough black people in the room when they're making these creative decisions because had there been some black folk in the room, somebody would have said, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna go over too well. Had there been some black folk in the room. Now, what was Gucci's response? We're gonna hire some more black folk. So I don't think it's a bad thing to say, look, we're ignorant. We don't always see the lens from a black person's perspective. So we need to get some black people in the room. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's a bad thing, little baby. I really don't. Now, the problem is putting the right people in the room that's going to say that's wrong. That's not going to work. Black people going to look at it a certain kind of way. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's the problem, is making sure you got the right people in the room. But I don't think it's a wrong thing to say, look, we don't have enough black folk or other minorities. You know, it ain't always black and white, but I don't think it's enough people in here to fully and accurately represent what's going on. So let's get some people in here. And if we can get an influential person like a Jay-Z, why the hell not? Let me see what y'all talking about. If they had somebody's black, if they had somebody black, they wouldn't be putting these t-shirts and nooses. Right, right. We will see what happens. Yeah. Jay-Z just not on the black person that needs to be in the room. No, I agree with that. No, I agree. Gucci knew it wouldn't work. No, I don't think they did, Laura. I don't think they did. And I'm going to tell you why. There are things that are cultural that if you've never experienced or dealt with, you don't see it that way. I don't think that there was anybody in that room in Gucci that looked at the monkey mask and saw what we as black people saw. I just don't think there was. I really don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because there was still people, even after the outrage, who was like, why they making such a big deal? It's not a big deal. It's just a monkey. It looks like Curious George. That's what Curious George looked like. Why are they making such a big deal? So no, I honestly don't think that. I don't think they did. I really don't. You'll be surprised what you get around the right white folk. You'll be surprised the stuff that they say, and they don't see why you got a problem with it. You like, you ain't hear what you just said. You didn't. Okay. I went to school with white people. I went to high school. I went to a predominantly white high school. You'd be surprised what come out of people's mouth when they just don't think it's a big deal. They don't have that lens. And sometimes they're not trying to be disrespectful. They're not trying to be racist. They just don't have the lens. And besides Jay-Z, who else in the socioeconomic side is stepping up to make something happen besides running their mouth? I feel like it's a good thing. Also, Colin Kaepernick deal. So his hands are you saying because Colin Kaepernick settled with the NFL? Because I agree. I think once he settled with the NFL, I feel like the rest of it is a mute point. They just smoothing it over so Bae will come and perform. She done already done 2 Super Bowls. I think she need to go sit her ass down. But there's another comment. That's me, y'all. There's nothing wrong with hiring black people in the room. The issue is just putting black folks there to shut black folks up. What are those black people doing when they get there? Well, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be people who are actually going to lend a critical voice and a critical lens. I agree with that, little baby. That don't just put somebody like, yeah, D-Ray. Why is he at Gucci? You know, like Louis Vuitton had the first black creative director. It was like 2 years ago. They put this young black guy too. You know, and again, that doesn't mean that Louis Vuitton will never make a mistake. That's not what that means. But again, the lens is in the room. Now, sometimes people just make a bad call. And sometimes I think people are just being sensitive. I'm be honest. Sometimes I think people just be tripping over dumb shit. But again, when there's the right people in the room, they can speak on it. I think they're gonna let him move with the entertainment aspect, but those owners are not letting him in the owners' meetings. That's where everything needs to change. He ain't invited to that party. No. He ain't invited to that party. No, you're right about that. No, never. And let's be clear. Let's also understand that the majority of NFL owners are Trump supporters, so they supported that rhetoric. Are people who have never had to deal with it's about the lens. I remember saying this about when we were discussing When They See Us, and I remember saying this about that. The woman who was attacked the night of the Central Park, the woman who was raped and beaten that night, she still feels like the Central Park Five are guilty, right? She's still the exonerated five. She still feels like they were a part of what happened to her, and that this other guy whose DNA actually matched, like, okay, she was like, okay, he did actually rape me, but I still think those other guys were involved. And what I was explaining to people was, in her heart of hearts, I think she knows that ain't the case. But what she can't wrap because for her to accept that those young men were not involved in what happened to her, she has to accept that the police aren't who she thought they were. She has to accept that the police are corrupt. She has to accept that the police railroaded teenagers. Like, she has to accept what we already know. So again, it's the same thing when you start talking about these owners and stuff like that. They don't have that lens. These, for the most part, these are rich white men who have been rich most of their life, or some level of privilege most of their life. They have no understanding of being afraid to be pulled over by the police. These are the people that get pulled over by the police and cuss the police out, and the police hand them their license back and say, have a nice day. That's who we're dealing with. We're dealing with those people. So they have no concept of being pulled over by the police and not getting a fair shake by the police. So again, no, they ain't letting Jay-Z in that room. No, not at all. Never. Never. Mm-mm. But I do agree with what you said, Bobby, that there were a whole lot of black millionaires bumping their gums, but I didn't see anybody. I mean, Diddy could have done this. Who was some of the other black millionaires bumping their gums about the NFL? You know, it was a whole lot of people that could have made a different decision and did something. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with Jay-Z. I'm just throwing it out there for the conversation. You're right about the sensitivity. I honestly thought the Gucci shirts were cute. They were cheeky to me. Sorry, not sorry. Well, you know. Right, but if they perform again, she make it okay for all the other black performers to say yes. And then the halftime show will stop being trash. Because last year, well, to me, it's been trash for a while. No, the year that they did Bruno Mars was good. Yeah. The last great halftime performance for me was Prince. Exactly, Purple King. And again, it's not always because people are racist. And I think we need to get away from that. We have to get away from thinking that people are racist every time they make a bad observation that's outside of their scope of understanding. The problem is when you don't want to listen and understand that there's a different scope. But it's not racist if you've never lived in that world, and that's the only, you don't know another world. Like, I think we forget sometimes that people don't know another world. If that's the only world you've ever known, you ain't never hung out with black people, you ain't never been in a hood, you've never, like, if that's your world, we can't honestly expect them to understand what that world is. So when there's certain things that are done or said, it's like, for example, if you grew up in a gang infested neighborhood, right? Now, some of us might have grown up in the hood, but we ain't grow up in Crippin' blood. Let's just use Crippin' blood as an example. People who grow up in an area that was dominated by colors understand what to wear, what not to wear out the house. It's automatic. They don't have it in their They don't have it in their wardrobe. When they go shopping, they don't buy it. Parents don't buy it for their kids to wear because that is their reality. That is their world. If you've never lived in that world, you don't know what it's like to go shopping and say, look, don't even pick up nothing blue. Don't pick up nothing red. Matter of fact, you're only going to wear browns and yellows and greens because you don't even want to look like you are leaning to one side or the other, because that is our reality. So if you've never lived in that environment, you don't know what that lens is. You know what I'm saying? People who grew up rich, they don't understand a different lens. People who grew up flying private jets don't understand what it's like to have to go through TSA. They're like, what? You got to take your shoes off. What? That's their reality. They ain't never had to do it. They don't know what it's like. White people in general have no clue or concern because of the issues we face don't affect their lives. I mean, Beyonce halftime show wasn't all that Beyonce been performing the same since 20. People y'all know how I feel about Beyonce, so, honestly, no boycott of the NFL has stopped the show. The ratings have continued to increase. No, actually, the ratings dropped. Actually, the ratings have gone down over the last couple of years, little baby. They actually have. Now you can't. You're right. You can't. Now I have friends who did actually boycott. At least that's what they said they did. I ain't never boycott. I ain't gonna pretend like I would boycott it. I ain't gonna front like I would boycott it. I did, but I did have friends who boycotted. But I tell you what, they boycotted that one season and they went right back the next season. I'm sorry. Was that good or bad, Jacqueline? That I'm on when you going to lunch, Yana. Oh, yeah, you about to go back to work, huh? Had the open house for pre-K, girl. Woo, girl. Right, you only gonna wear khakis. I mean, if you live, and again, I didn't grow up in a gang infested neighborhood, but but I grew up in DC in the 90s, the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of drugs and stuff, and it was certain neighborhoods that you unless you belong there, you ain't go there. Unless you live there, you ain't go there. What's up, TV junkie? Oh, yes, baby, it's a very safe space to admit that because I'm not a Beyonce fan, and there was some other people in here the other night. Now, I think there might be some Beehive in here, but it is a safe space to feel however you feel. That's how we roll in here, boo. And ain't nobody going to attack you for it, or ain't going to have a problem with me because this is a safe space to say whatever you want. Well, within reason. It's like a person who grew up smart don't really comprehend the mind of a less intelligent. We only see and feel sensitivity to what affects us or what we know. That's valid, Purple King, or what we know. I mean, and then well, I ain't about to. That's about the whole. Yes, it is, Ebony. And that's the thing. How long is this boycott? That's my issue with these modern day boycotts. You don't know. Bell, baby, you wasn't in here when I started. That's exactly what I said. And I've been, if you go back to some of my old podcasts and stuff, when all this stuff first went down, I've been saying that. That's what I've been saying for the last 3 years. What are we boycotting? What is it that we're asking of the NFL? Are we asking the NFL to hire Colin Kaepernick? Are we asking the NFL to let people kneel? They don't have a policy. People can kneel if they want to. There's no more policy about players kneeling. They tried to put a policy in place. They got backlash from the union. They said forget it. People can kneel all they want. Colin Kaepernick took a settlement from the NFL for his lawsuit. The lawsuit is over. So we're supposed to never watch football again. And Colin Kaepernick then got his little check from the NFL. I don't know how much the check was for, but he got it. So what are we boycotting? I was never boycotting, let's be clear. But what are we boycotting? I agree. Who is texting me? To me, the NFL did this move to shut up. Yeah, of course they did. This way they can say we have done things to show support. But you're right, Jacqueline. But what we're gonna have to do is keep a foot on their neck to make sure that we see what it is that Jay-Z's supposed to be doing. Now he's not supposed to just be focusing on the entertainment piece. He's supposed to be creating safe spaces. Now I don't know if he's qualified to do that, but actually, myself and my husband are huge Colts fans, and we have not watched since the Colin Kaepernick debacle, and we haven't been to a game since. So yes, football fan can stop watching. Oh, football! Like I said, I've had friends that have stopped watching. I never stopped watching, but I have had friends stop watching. I stopped watching way before the boycott. I'm only watching the Super Bowl for the commercials. Yeah. America has never been a place designed with Black people involved. Lost it. Well, Black people's involved in the freedom of. We demanded, fought, and earned. We need a new America to really be included. Oh, okay, Purple King. Make sure that Jay-Z, and that's valid, little baby. Make sure that it's not a token move, that it really is to put some things in place. But I also feel like, well, a lot of times when settlements are made, there's a non-disclosure. I mean, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. I still don't understand how it is THD. Please tell me what that means. It's crazy because they sealed the case. Oh yeah. Yeah, the nation was invested in it, but a lot of times it's sealed. A lot of cases like that, it'll be non-disclosures and people can't talk about the settlement. But suffice to say, when there's a settlement, they're for the NFL to settle with Colin Kaepernick, they were saying we know we messed up, and they obviously felt that Colin Kaepernick had enough evidence to, even if he didn't win the case, to embarrass the NFL. if it were public. Because remember, if the case had gone forward, all of that stuff would have been public information. So the NFL, like I said, do I think they conspired against him? I absolutely think they conspired against him. But they conspired against Chad Ochocinco. They conspired against what's his boy? Terrell Owens. They've conspired against players before. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a slippery slope. Colin Kaepernick ain't the first person that the NFL has conspired against. They've conspired against people in the past because they said we no longer want this person in our league. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but Colin Kaepernick ain't the first person that the NFL have closed ranks on. And again, that is what the union is there for. And so in Colin Kaepernick's case, it just got so much notoriety because there was a race issue to it. And you had people like the president of the United States speaking out on it. So it did take it did actually end up going to another level, but he wasn't the first person. He wasn't the first person. No, you fine, girl. Eat your lunch. Eat your lunch. I don't know how much they gave him. And let's remember, Colin Kaepernick made more money for Nike than he ever made in the NFL. Let's be clear. He's made more money since he left the NFL than he ever made playing in the NFL. And I'm not saying that money makes it okay, but come on, y'all. We have some of the white high schoolers here that have non-disclosures when the news can't report on their school crimes. Well, yep, that's true. Disclose the money, but they should have discussed parts of it because he's still putting up videos on his IG about being unemployed. He is? That's interesting. But again, you can't make a team hire him because of the process in the NFL. Even if a team agrees to give Colin Kaepernick a tryout, even if a team agrees to hire Colin Kaepernick, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. The NFL can cut you at any time they feel like cutting you. So even if, and Colin Kaepernick knows that, it would have been an empty promise. Even if he got his lawyer to say, we want the settlement to include a job. He knows that as soon as the smoke clears, his ass was either going to be riding the bench or he was going to be cut. I mean, that was just going to be that. So it would have been an empty gesture anyway, and it would have probably been more embarrassing than anything to see him in a token role riding the bench just to fulfill some obligation on a contract. He wasn't a starter. When he started kneeling, he wasn't a starter. However, I think he ended up starting before that season was over. But you're right. He wasn't a starter. When he was kneeling, he was not starting on the San Francisco 49ers at that time. And the NFL has always been a league of what have you done for me lately? You can win the Super Bowl one year and your ass be retired the next. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just because he went to the Super Bowl, just because he did great things, especially as a quarterback. That's here today, gone tomorrow. Ciao. I don't know about. I mean, I believe what you're saying, Z, but I don't know. He know his ass ain't playing no more. He know he ain't never getting back in the NFL. You know how many players do the same thing? They put up training videos. They put stuff over YouTube. Their managers post stuff. His ass know he ain't coming back. Here's the thing. Let's be realistic about it, okay? And I love Colin Kaepernick, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, but let's be real. Colin Kaepernick was on his way out before he started kneeling. Let's be clear. Oh, Mug Chip, girl. I love you, boo. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the super chat, boo. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, babe. Yeah, I mean, Tim Tebow, we look at it. It happens all the year. Every year we have these wonderful success stories. It's not like the NBA. In the NBA, you're going to get paid. The NBA has guaranteed money. That's why you see when you pay attention to the NFL and you pay attention to a lot of these contracts in the NFL has people get signing bonuses. And you'll see somebody will get a $10 million signing bonus. That's because that's the only thing guaranteed. Whereas in the NBA's money is guaranteed. You could stop playing. That's why I remember when Gilbert Arenas left the league, he was still getting paid by the Wizards because of the way his contract was structured. It's, hey, Cookie. Hey, Carolyn, how you doing? Monk Chip again. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. Such a sweetie. You are such a sweetheart. But that's the thing. So that's why when you see these contracts in the NFL, they're so front loaded because that's the only money that's guaranteed. When you see these players get signed to these $300 million contracts, pay attention to how much is guaranteed on the front end. And then a lot of that money is also contingent upon them hitting certain benchmarks during the season. How many sacks do you get? How many tackles? How many points? How many interceptions? So those contracts sound real good in the NFL, but the majority of NFL players don't see half of that money that they think they're going to see. That's why the more and more this goes on, the more and more you see players getting their money at their signing once they sign. That's why, who was it that was it Michael Vick? When he got caught up in that dog mess, the Atlanta Falcons sued him for his signing bonus back. And I was like, how the hell you gonna get the man signing bonus? It's just that. It's not based on anything. It's a signing bonus. It's money that you get for signing the contract. He signed the contract. That's his money. Like, I never understood why the NFL, or I mean, it wasn't the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons sued him for that money. I was like, that's kind of fucked up. That's his money. Baseball got the sweetest. They got the sweetest deals. Baseball contracts are sweet. Yeah, I mean, he did when he came into the league. He sort of was a he came out of nowhere kind of guy. They went to the Super Bowl. That was the year that we had 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. It was the 49ers were playing the Seattle Seahawks, so it was him against Westbrook. Isn't that his name? Wilson. I said Westbrook. Wilson. Wilson won. Colin Kaepernick was always known as that quarterback that went to the Super Bowl, right? But then, like 2 years later, he was benched. And then he was actually, when he was kneeling, he actually was coming back. I think he did end up starting that year. But, but let's not act like. I'm sorry, y'all. But let's not act like, he was at the Super Bowl again. Michael Sims is a prime case of tokenism. Everyone and their mama said the child was drafted anyway because the Rams wanted to look good. But before their season was over, he was cut. Exactly. And let's be real. Michael Sims may or may not have actually played had he not come out as gay. Because, yes, he won all these accolades and everything like that. But again, y'all, football ain't nothing guaranteed in football. Let me tell y'all something. I was, and will always be a football fan. Now, I know it's got its shit. I'm under no illusions. And my team is shit. But I'm a fan. And for those of you who care, I'll post it on the community page and I'll post it on Instagram. I actually do a pick'em league every year through Yahoo. So if anybody wants to participate in the pick'em league, I think I'm gonna have a cash prize this year for first, second, and third place. So if anybody, I will. So if anybody wants to participate in the pick'em league, I will put the sign up information. I meant to post it today, but I'll post it. I'll post that. Yes, baby. I'm a diehard Redskins fan, babe. But okay, so this is what I'm not understanding. I hear what you're saying. So if you're telling me you're paying me $10 million just to sign the contract, I signed the contract. $10 million is a signing bonus, correct? It's not contingent upon me completing the contract. It's just agreeing for me to sign that. When I sign this contract, you're going to give me $10 million to sign it. I didn't think it had anything to do with the rest of the contract. I thought it was just that, a bonus for signing. I didn't think it had anything to do with it. Now, let me tell you something, Carolyn Alexander. I'm going to Vegas next season. When the Raiders open up, I'm going to Vegas. I don't care who they playing. I just want to go to that stadium in Vegas. Yep. So anyway, so that brings me to that. Also, you guys, just be on the lookout. I'm telling you guys now, tomorrow, my plan is to do a lot of maintenance on the channel tomorrow, meaning I'm going to clean up a lot of those videos. What I mean by that is I'm going to do my playlist, because I have a lot of videos that are just sitting there. They're not in any type of playlist. So my plan tomorrow is to really dig deep, y'all. Get into that channel tomorrow and organize those playlists, put them in, categorize them, put them with the right seasons and all that good stuff. That's my plan. I'm also going to be changing the name of the channel tomorrow. That's my plan. You'll see. That's my plan. I'll post it if all that goes to plan. So it's not gonna you frozen? No, I'm not frozen. Let me Okay, Carolyn, I'm sorry. You feeling I'm sorry, Carolyn. All right, Jacqueline, I will definitely let you know when we coming out to Vegas, baby. Yeah, Ebony, I wasn't frozen. At least I don't think I was frozen. Oh, you were too? Okay. I don't know what that's about because I know ain't nobody flagging my channel. What they flagging? We talking about the NFL. Who flagging that? People get flagged on the drama side. We ain't doing drama today. We ain't doing drama today, y'all. That's what people get flagged on the drama side. All right, so the other hashtags. I did have Armand Wiggins up there, so I guess that's a little bit of drama. But my only piece about the Armand Wiggins thing is, what y'all think that was really about? Do y'all think it was publicity? Do y'all think that Armand Wiggins that was a setup, that was publicity? Oh, hey Lee Lovable, how you doing? She said, "Yep." Hey Erica, how you doing, babe? This is what I think happened. I'm gonna tell you what I think went down. I think Armand Wiggins lost his shit, went off. We're gonna get to Trina. I think that he knew or felt that some backlash was coming, and I think he voluntarily shut the channel down so he could clean it up. I don't think YouTube took his channel at all, but I do think people will probably were trying to flag it, but because it wasn't up there, it wasn't nothing to flag. Like the channel was down, it wasn't up there, wasn't nothing to flag. Yeah, I don't think that part was set up. I think after he lost it, I think he went into damage control. I do not think that he thought it out on the front end. I think that him taking his channel down was a response to him really losing it and realizing I went too far. I really do. I really think that somebody was like, "Yo, bruh, you're doing too much. You need to go sit down." Like, I do believe that. I believe that. No, I think he ran coward. He didn't want anyone coming for him, so he disappeared from it. That's what I think what happened. I really do. I don't think it was a publicity stunt on the front end, but I do think he milked it. I do believe that. Okay, yeah, Jacqueline. Armand Wiggins went off on his now some people said it was his YouTube, some said it was his Instagram. I don't know where he went off. But he went off and made some inflammatory remarks about transgender women, T.S. Madison, gay people, T.S. Madison's manager, Geo, things like that. Yeah, I really think that's what happened. I think he lost it. I think he legit lost it. Like, I don't think that was a stunt. But once he lost it, I think people was like, "Yo, they gonna get you because you went too far." And I think he purposely took the video. I think he shut his channel down so he could take that video off and maybe any other videos that he thought might get him flagged or get him in trouble. Because from my understanding, there are a couple of videos missing. Yes, Armand Wiggins is gay. He is part of the LGBTQ community. But again, the language is unacceptable, and some of the stuff he said about, and then, people's like, "Well, I wasn't talking about all transgender women. I was just talking about that woman." It doesn't matter. The stuff he said is just unacceptable. It doesn't, right. And the thing about the LGBTQ community is you might have a gay man, but be talking shit about a transgender woman, or a transgender woman will be talking shit about a film, or a lipstick lesbian talking shit about a dom. Like, they're within the community, but can still make disparaging remarks about each other. And so I say a lot of things about trans people because I don't understand them. Well, first of all, they're people. I understand what you're saying though. Oh, stuff. I understand what you're saying though, Purple Night. And the reality is because you're the because I understand what you're saying, babe. And I know you don't mean any disrespect about what you're saying. But the first thing to remember is that they're just people. They're just people who were born in the wrong body. And this is me talking. I'm not transgender, so a transgender person can better explain what it is. But to overly simplify, you know, I've been gay since '96, and I just don't understand them. Okay, he misgendered Maddie, was just rude. Yeah, I mean the stuff he said was beyond. You know, see. Here's the thing about letting your emotions control you. You can get mad all you want. You can say whatever you want. Just don't nobody hear it. I can come in my house by myself and I can call anybody anything I want to call them and let it come right on off my tongue, and it don't affect or hurt anybody but me. The problem is when you do it in the public, again, like I was saying yesterday about freedom of speech. When you do it on a public platform, there's a level of what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable and what you can and cannot say on a public platform. And what people have to understand about what's going on with YouTube right now, YouTube is under a lot of scrutiny because they have let a lot of things go in the past, and the backlash has come back on them. And they're not doing that anymore. I'm not subscribed to Justin, but I hear the phone he had with Tracy, and it just made a lot of sense. I think Armand got scared because he might almost got 3 strikes from people flagging the channel. Yeah, I believe that's what happened too. Last one to talking crap about Maddie because she is being sought out by Nikki to be on Queen Radio. He's going to go after Fish to get the attention. Because here's the thing, from my understanding, he felt like Maddie made a jab at him. He felt like she threw some shade towards him. From my understanding, she was talking about Kaya. Number one, she didn't say anybody's name. So let's start there. So you went on this rant calling her everything but a child of God over a subliminal, over something she said on a subliminal. And then she never said your name. She never called you by name. And you went off, like you let her get you to that point. I mean, y'all, if y'all heard, I don't know where you can hear the rant, but if y'all heard that rant, it was bad. It was bad. And Lovable, you said you were on Tracy's. So you heard when Tracy played it. I was worried that Tracy was gonna get flagged for even playing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, that was bad. I was like, I hope she don't get flagged because what he said was so nasty. It was so nasty. He has been taking shots at Maddie. I get that, but I'm telling you, Purple Night, I don't know if you heard it or not, but that rant was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was worse I think it was worse than anything Kaya ever said about Maddie. And we know Kaya went there. I think it was worse than anything Maddie said. I mean, Kaya said about it. Yeah, Lovable. I was worried. I hope Tracy don't get flagged for playing this. Because that's where I heard it. I heard it on Tracy. I was in the bushes, girl. But and that was the point that Justin J made. People can talk about Justin J having his own reasons and that, you know, he had his reasons for doing it, and that's fine too. But the point he made was it's not okay just because you said I was just talking about Maddie. It's you made comments that were disparaging against a whole community, and that's not okay. And I agree, it's not okay. Yeah, he went way too far. I never listened to Armand Wiggins. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I mean that's no shade. I just never listened to him. I tried to listen a couple of times, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. You know, just like I'm not everybody's cup of tea. He just wasn't my cup of tea. But clearly, there are people who love him. So you know, yeah, exactly, Erica, exactly. And that's the thing, you know. Whatever Armand Wiggins and Maddie's beef is, now if he was like Maddie, you this, Maddie, you that, Maddie, it still would have been nasty, but it wouldn't have been. I mean, y'all, I'm not going to repeat some of the stuff he said, but if you can find that rant, it's still out there. I'm sure it's still out there somewhere. Somebody still got it posted somewhere. It was bad. Yeah, I be in the bushes, y'all. Like I told y'all yesterday. Now I be in the bushes. I don't always speak. There's some people's chat I go into and I speak. There's other people's chat I don't say nothing. I just be listening. I just be listening. Yeah, something I want to say when that whole Kaya stuff went down. I think her and Armand might have got into it on the front end. But again, that was almost 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like you still this mad? Like this woman can get you that angry. This woman still has the ability to get you that angry. You got bigger problems. You got bigger problems. If this woman can get you in your feelings that much. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean no disrespect, but this woman can get you in your feelings that much. You got bigger issues, babe. Yeah, I honestly don't know I honestly don't know if Maddie has ever addressed Armand Wiggins. I do know that Armand Wiggins that there have been some things in the past, but I don't know whether Maddie has ever spoken on it. Now, here's the thing you got to remember about Maddie. Y'all know a lot of times Maddie does speak in subliminals. A lot of times she don't call people by name. I mean, you got to know who she talking about. She don't call people by name, which makes sense. And that's my thing. A lot of people are going after the big fish. I'm going to talk about Maddie because she's getting attention from huge names in the industry. I want to be in. Yeah. I mean, Nicki Minaj was talking about making Maddie her co-host. They got her on her live talking about making Maddie the co-host. People can't stand, people can't stand that, especially when they want to be where you are. Especially when they think, I mean, he called her all kinds of no talent. All she do is talk about it. It was bad, y'all. It was terrible. I understand, Rebecca. I'm about to get off. I said I would do an hour. I'm about to get off in a few minutes myself. We're gonna talk about Trina, and then we're gonna get on off of here. I understand that, Miss Jacqueline. You eating your lunch, boo? You eating your lunch? But I agree, little baby. I agree with what you're saying. People want to come after, people want to come after the big fish, but he just went too far. He just went too far. Right. But that will be an attack against Armand. And nowhere in that attack did you mention the fact that he's part of the LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can attack somebody without attacking their sexuality or their race or their gender. I can attack you all day long about other stuff. Yeah, he feels Maddie is chasing fame and she's stopping Kaya's bag. Supposedly, Maddie and him got into it on Facebook when she dragged him. That's the rumor in the comments. She probably did drag him. Yeah, Trina said, I don't need nobody speaking for me. She said her management, we will go on and talk about Trina now. She said, okay, Shawnette, I agree. I agree. What I don't like in today's environment is that people take things that others say way too seriously, and think everything's about them. I agree. I agree. Oh Lord. Okay, little baby. Okay, little baby. Trina said her management dropped the ball. That it is not Nicki Minaj's fault. That they had bad business, and the reason why her album flopped was because of them. And that she doesn't need anybody on her team speaking for her. That she's disappointed in what her team did. Hello. Hey, what's up, MVM Nation? How you doing? So there's what Trina said. What you got to say about that? Trina said, I don't need nobody speaking for me. I ain't asked nobody to speak for me. And if they so concerned about what happened, they need to go fix it. Well, you can tap somebody on the hand and keep working for them when that whole thing went down with Michelle Atielian and Kaya. Remember, Gio put Michelle's phone number or address or something out there, and Maddie addressed it, but she didn't fire him as her manager. She addressed it. She said he was wrong. He shouldn't have done it, and I'm sure behind the scenes they had a conversation, but she didn't fire him. You know, Bobby likes to do his own thing. Bobby, you talk about clout chasing. Bobby likes clout chasing. He's trying to get his name out there. I don't take nothing, Bobby. I don't feel like Bobby Lights is in any way, shape, or form speaking for Trina or representing Trina. Bobby Lights is a hanger on. Now let's be clear, little baby. I believe that behind the scenes, Trina made these comments and maybe feel the way she feels? Absolutely. But Trina had to play damage control and Trina had to clean it up. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I 100% believe that Trina didn't in some way, shape, or form blame Nicki Minaj and that Nicki Minaj didn't do what they said she did. I'm not, I stick by what I said the other day. I stick by it. However, Trina's got to clean that up. Trina did what she was supposed to do. Trina did what she had to do. Trina did what she was supposed to do. She's not necessarily kissing Nicki Minaj's ass, but she got to clean that up because it's bigger than Nicki Minaj. It goes into, is anybody else going to want to work with her? Is anybody else going to want to do a feature with her? If things don't go her way, her management going to go on social media and blast her. You understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than Nicki Minaj. You see, that's the politics of the game. And remember, Trina is an independent artist. She is not signed to a record label. She doesn't have anybody to handle all this for her. She got to do it herself. Now, if she truly feels like, and I think that's the point you were making, little baby. If she truly feels like her team let her down, then yeah, she need to find a new team. Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, I don't even take Bobby ass seriously. I don't know if Nicki made her say it, but Nicki put her on the spot. Nicki sure put her on the spot. No, what's going on with Mary J. Blige? I didn't hear the story, but tell me what's going on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, little baby and lovable. I'm not saying that I ain't get ready to sit here and say that anybody was right or wrong. I mean that I ain't gonna say little boy's right. I'm saying that do I think that Trina probably in some way, shape, or form blame Nicki Minaj? Yeah, but she had to do damage control. She had to get in front of that thing. Now I don't know anything about the Mary J. Blige piece. You said her and her protege. What about her protege? Who is her protege? Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to see if I can find something. Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm gonna have to keep looking. I don't see anything, y'all. Let me see. She shouldn't be blamed for nothing. She ain't had no money. She got a free song. Move on. Megatron flopped and Bats wasn't all that either. So what more to do? What more do they want? I don't know, child. But again, I stick by what I said the other day about Nicki Minaj being sneaky. I still feel like Megatron dropping on the same day as her album drop was some shit. I still feel like that was some mess. But I understand y'all's points, lovable and little baby. I understand the points y'all making. Not 83 though. Yeah, I understand your point, little baby. I understand your point. And again, I'm not saying that Anyway, I agree, little baby, because I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with what Trina's management said. All I'm saying is Nicki Minaj does have a bad reputation for not always supporting female artists. But in this case, I'm not saying she was right or she was wrong. I believe Megatron dropping on the same day was shady as hell, and she could blame the record company all she want on that one. But you can't say on one minute you the baddest and you running shit and you the HBIC, and then the next minute say, oh well, it was the record company, they made me do it. You can't have that both ways. Yep. Yep. Y'all, it's been real. I'm about to get off of here. Um, Nikki got all this bark at men. I'm gonna need her to have the same energy with Remy. Well, Nikki once again taking shots at Cardi. And that's the thing she did again. Why she always coming for Cardi? I don't know. Cardi ain't bothering her. Cardi ain't said her name in months that I know of. Cardi ain't studying Nicki Minaj, but she keep coming. She keep coming. Yeah, and I'm the same way. Have that same energy for Remy Ma. Have that same energy for Remy Ma. How about that? How about that? Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. All right, y'all. Let me go get out of here. All right, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. Yeah, Remy would snatch all them wigs. Yep. It's more beneficial to Nikki to keep the beef going. That's true. You're right. I think Nikki was an easy target to run with the non-supportive narrative, but the song was booty without her. Trina bars were whack. Well, I ain't even listened to the song, so let me just be real about that. No, Remy is not one to play with. Remy is my girl, and Remy is not one to play with. It might be Jacqueline. It might be. It might very well be a stunt. It may very well be a stunt. I love me some Remy Ma. I'm happy for her now that she's off papers. She can move freely about the country without having to get permission. Now that she can really fully go full throttle, I think we're gonna see her projects drop and see a lot more from her. Um, they was really messing with Remy when she was on papers and had to get permission to do stuff and go places. And anyway, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. JJ, Remy was a lot of stuff Remy was blocked from doing because they were giving her a hard time. They were giving her a hard time. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I hope that you all are having a good evening. I'm about to roll it out. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for talking to a sister Monk Chip. Once again, thank you for the super chat, babe. Uh oh, don't do that, little baby. I like Remy. I like Remy. I think she'll stay out of trouble because I don't think she ever want to go down that road again. I think she'll stay out of trouble. I think that was an expensive lesson that she learned, but I think she learned it. I believe she learned that lesson. It was an expensive lesson, but I think she learned it. Remy got a lot of money to make. She got a lot of hands and a lot of buckets. Well, Jacqueline, she had to make money. She was out. She had to make money. Mona Scott offered her a job straight out of jail. She had to take it. Notice, you notice that her shenanigans are very limited on that show. She don't get in a whole lot of mess on that show. Notice that. But it was definitely a means to an end for her. Yeah, she definitely did. She definitely stayed out of it. Teddy, we about to get off of here. Hey, boo. Yeah, I think Remy definitely. I don't know if her check itself was big or she was able to expand that check into other opportunities, but she definitely it was definitely worth. It was definitely worth her joining the cast. All right, well I'm about to get off of here. So look, y'all, everybody, y'all going over to El Teddy. If you're not subscribed to El Teddy, go on and subscribe to El Teddy. He about to go live right now because I'm getting ready to get off of here, and then he about to pop over there and go live. So Teddy, I'll be through. I'll be through there. I'll be through there. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I'm about to get off of here for real this time. Peace.